So if you'd like to see paddleboard, you put a green dot there. If you'd like to see a playground, you put a green dot there.
They're adding these suggestions to a construction plan they'll use to get money and hire a contractor to start work.
To have this kind of step from where we saw it 2 years ago is amazing. We'll be able to use a park again.
Hey everybody, it's Becky. I'm going to share some footage with you from a video I took in an exchange with the director of Metro Parks and Recreation, Monique Odom. I went to the Parks meeting recently in order to get some answers about what was to become of the survey that they gave us back in September as to what the community wanted to see with Brookmeade Park after they did the repairs to it. Some of you may recall that there were a lot of different ideas from the community that they proposed to us and asked us which ones we were interested in order to rank them. And then they posted those rankings. I decided to go to the Parks Board meeting this last week, and I went with a copy of those survey results. Now, the only reason I recorded was because I wanted to make sure that I got everything she said right so that I could communicate it with the community like I always do, and I try to be very, very factual. Here we go. Are any of these going to be implemented at the park before the opening?
And what we have reported is that our goal is to, at this point, to get the park back to its initial condition.
That's not what the survey said. The survey said, what would you like to see at the park? This is the one you asked us to fill out.
And we also talked about that the park is largely in a floodplain area, and what could be at the park, what could be accommodated at the park.
But then why did you put all these things down for us to fill out? There was no mention of the floodplain at the community meeting in this room.
It's been mentioned at several park board meetings.
Okay, let's stop right there and recap. She said it's been mentioned at several park board meetings. Those are held on the first Tuesday of the month at 12 noon. We were told nothing about this floodplain when we came into their offices and put little dots on all of the different posters that they had put up, which we paid for, by the way, and voiced what we wanted to see in the park board. All the other communities around Nashville, when you ask for input from the community, and then you, like First and Gay, they said, we would like to see this, and we would like to see that. And then you come back and say, well, this is what we can do, this is what we can't do. And then they have the second revision. And we came back and said what we can do and what we can't do. You never came back. Now, right here is where the chair of the Parks Board, Michelle Steele, jumps in and starts to take over. And Monique Odom is still standing there in the maroon. She is just going to talk to me for a few more seconds and then let Steele take over. You never came back and said...
We did at a Parks Board meeting.
But you didn't have a community meeting. But why would you put this forward if you could never do any of it?
It was asking for what the community wanted to see.
Yes.
What the community wanted to see. If we were able to do that, then we would. The space did not accommodate it. That's not something that your group in particular wanted to hear at all.
Wow, did you get that? That's not something that your group in particular wanted to hear at all. Wow. But you never put forward. I'm sorry, can I finish? So, when you hold a community meeting,
okay, so I don't need you to educate me.
No, I'm
about
asking.
What
I wasn't stating. I was asking. When you have a community meeting and you put forth questions to the community about what we would like to see,
right.
Would you not, you wouldn't put a roller coaster on here knowing full well you can't put a roller coaster in there. So why would you put restrooms, for instance? We're not even asking for...
This is what people...
So are you not going to do
what people said they would like to see?
This is what you asked us if we would like to see these things.
I have to go back and review.
This is on your website.
I have to go back and...
This is on your website.
That's the result of
your survey.
Of what people would like to see.
Of your survey.
What would you like to see?
Can we get a bathroom? Can we get a picnic table? Can we get a bench?
Yep. Probably.
Can we get a grand reopening?
So probably.
Or can we get the fence taken down?
What we're doing.
Wait,
I got it.
What we're doing for an opening is a fence will be removed.
The whole fence.
A fence will be removed. What we can do when we open is exactly what we said, is to bring it back to where it was pre the homeless encampment. You got to bring it back to a place where it can even be open. That's where we are at this point, because that's what we have money for.
So let's look at Brookmeade Park. Here it is. This is the entrance, and it runs up and over like that. This is Brookmeade Park in the brown. Now let's look at the floodplain. This is from the FEMA website, and indeed it is in a floodplain. If you look carefully there, you can see where we would love to put a soccer field. Makes sense right here. Okay, now let's look at Mill Creek Greenway. Right here are 7 soccer fields at Mill Creek Greenway. Here's the Greenway here, and I want you to look at the floodplain for Mill Creek Greenway. Isn't that something? There it is, the soccer fields, and there's the floodplain. You can even read about it. Orchard Bend Park and Mill Creek Greenway. The park encompasses 98 acres of land that lie within the floodway and floodplain of Mill Creek. 7 new full-size multi-use fields. You can see them off in the distance, those lovely soccer nets. It looks very similar to what we have at Brookmeade Park, but on a little bit larger scale. Now let's look at Wharf Park, the very ambitious project right on the Cumberland near downtown, and you can see that it is right there. Now let's look at the floodplain for it. Wow. Right there. Looks remarkably similar. Notice the similarity right there. Very similar looking to the Brookmeade Park flood map. Both in AE zones. I don't understand why we can't have nice things too.